Alright, welcome to Julian's Car Parlor. This is my first YouTube video. So today we got us a full detail on my friend Nathan's Lexus. And so right now I'm just taking everything out of my truck. Not a truck, I guess, it's terrain. And setting it up. Matter of fact, that's him right there sitting in his car talking to somebody. He's a funny dude, I like him. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Trust me, you don't really want to see this, it's kind of boring. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, so while the video is being sped up, I might as well explain some of the things I got in the back of my terrain. So this blue thing I'm pulling out right here is a deionizer from CR Spotless or something like that. So what it does is filter out all the minerals and impurities in the water, making it soft water. And so what that does is when I spray down a car, it doesn't leave any watermarks or streaks from flash drying. I live here in Arizona, so it gets pretty hot, like 108, 115 degrees. So whenever I spray water in a car, it flash dries, instantly dries up, leaving a watermark. So that was a pretty good investment in my opinion. It's helped me save some time and energy and like a headache, you know. So I got my pressure washer that I just pulled out. I got my buckets. I use a 2-bucket method. Highly recommend for those who are not trying to scratch the paint of their car when using wash mitts. And so I got my caddy, I got my chemicals. What's in the caddy? I mainly have interior things in that caddy, like my interior shine, my leather shine, smell good stuff. I have a brush. I got my wheel bucket that I just pulled out, and my phone cannon. So what I got back here is my extractor vacuum, my steamer, and my vacuum. That steamer was also a pretty good investment in my opinion, you know. Helps me save some money on chemicals and is a great way to disinfect a car, especially during this time, you know, with COVID and monkeypox. Yeah, just pulling out my vacuum, and that's pretty much it. We had a couple hurdles here in the process of washing this car, even starting to wash the car, so I'll explain that later on. Alright, we are back in a new location. As you can see, we had to move his car to the side of his house. His green garden hose right there couldn't reach all the way out to the street, sadly. And unfortunately, I don't carry my own hose. Yes, I know I need to invest in one of those one day. Problem number 2 was his green garden hose had a nozzle or attachment at the end of it, and it was stuck or calcified on there. And it's been on there for the past 3 years. So I had to go down the street and ask one of his neighbors if I can kindly borrow his hose. I told him I was going to return it at the end, which I did.
You turned up more?
And then problem number 3, the water wasn't flowing out of the gray hose as good as I wanted it to be. We couldn't really figure out what it was.
Is there still a kink in it?
But eventually we figured it out. We had persistence.
Christ.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up here just a little bit. So what Nathan is saying, he's just telling me everything he wants improved on his car, like the wheel well. He was wondering if I was able to get down and remove all that brake dust that was in there. That's one of the main concerns that he wanted fixed. Come around to the other side of the car, he wanted some of the leather to be shined up a little bit. See an improvement on the leather.
I can fucking, what's it called, use the ozone machine, but it's like an extra 15. It like squirts out like an atom or some shit that attaches to other atoms that make smells and it kills it. It'll make it smell like new, like fresh, like no scent at all. Is that what you want to do? Huh?
As you can hear from the audio, I had to do a slight little bit of upselling.
I mean, if you really want it to smell new and stuff,
give me
yeah.
a little bit more money.
I mean, it'll smell good regardless when I finish and everything. Yeah, it'll smell good, but it's just like an extra step if you want it to smell like extra, extra new, like nothing's been in there. Like if you were gonna sell it, that's what you would do.
All right, in about like a second or something, you're about to hear me say
Alright.
like what, like 10, 15 times. I don't even know why. I was just cracking up at it
What?
as I'm like editing. So
What?
enjoy.
What? 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 I need the college funds. Huh? What? What? What?
Had to hype myself up a little bit here.
My
If you
services
don't believe me, go check out my Facebook
are the
page,
best
Dreams
around.
Car Parlor.
I have the most knowledge in this business. No, it's not. I love bullshit. I got everything you need, bruh.
All right, I promise you I'm about to start on the wheels. I just gotta get my foam cannon set up first. Gotta get my soap and my buckets, and my wheel bucket set up. Gotta spare my degreaser and my Iron X remover. Those things are really helpful. And then I gotta put on my gloves, and then we can go ahead and start. Finally, after about an hour and a half of waiting on this dude to come back to this house and setting everything up, we are getting started. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what I do on a full detail. So first we start off with the dirtiest part of the car, the tires. So I go ahead and give them a pre-wash, get all the big piece of dirt off and debris. Then you go back through with the degreaser and the Iron X remover, spray that on the face of the tires and the rims. And then I go back through with the foam cannon and foam it all down, and then start agitating with the green bristle brush and a raccoon tail brush to get in between the spokes of the tires. Alright, I went ahead and finished up the wheels on this side of the car. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is pre-soak the car and get it ready for the foam. This helps reduce the risk of scratching the paint in the car. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and suds up the car using the foam cannon. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up quite a bit here. This is all pretty much boring. always love foaming up the car. It looks so satisfying. Alright, on to using the washments now. So when you're washing the car, you only want to go in straight lines, either vertical or horizontal. My preference is vertical. And so what that does is ensures that it doesn't leave any swirl marks, right? So you don't want to go in circular motions when you're washing a car, since after it dries, it will leave little micro scratches in the paint, and that can be very noticeable over time. Also, as I mentioned earlier, in my buckets, I have two grit guards, one blue one black one at the bottom of my buckets. And after every panel or every two panels, I go ahead and dunk my wash mitts in the buckets and scrape them against the grit guards at the bottom. That helps release the trapped dirt that's in the microfiber wash mitts. And what that does is reduce the likelihood of scratching your paint. One grit guard is in the soapy water, one grit guard is in the rinse water. It is called the 2 bucket method.
Him and Nathan. Alright. I just watched it and you're trying to move it. No, I just finished the outside.
You just finished the outside.
Yeah, I just fucking rinsing it off now. Okay. I had to do the fucking wheels, look at the wheels and shit. Yeah, look at all that shit off of it, bro. Oh, you gonna get the wheels dirty again, bro. I know it does.
Alright,
What?
well, we had to take a little break. Nathan had to move his car from behind his mom's car. She had to go to work. So, missing in my process, man. But here's me drinking some water. You know, gotta stay hydrated in this hot Arizona heat. Alright, we are back and we got Nathan in the driver's seat moving the car back up into place. And I noticed on the windshield and the windows of the car that there is some soap residue and water spots. Now that is especially annoying in the Arizona heat where it gets up to like 100 degrees, 108 degrees. You can't really do anything about it at that point, just like how water when it flashes in the car. Window cleaner, whenever you spray on the glass, it also dries, or when you try to spray on the rag, it also dries up super fast, leaving more residue and making it just look worse. So that's just something you can control as a detailer. It is a different story when you're cleaning a car in December and it's nice and cool and the water beads don't dry up on the windshield. I love it when that happens. It's perfect.
Messing up my process.
Because I know I'll never have a single water spot or watermark on the window. Alright, we're going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Alright, for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up as fast as I can, as much as I can. So all we're doing now is just vacuuming. Vacuuming, I feel like, is the most satisfying part of a job. It makes everything look just a little bit cleaner, only when you vacuum. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum the floor mats, throw them back out there for extraction and shampooing. I can't get the trunk open, so, yep. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and shampoo the mats. So beforehand, before I started agitating it, I used the pressure washer and just soaked it up a little bit, and then I used a degreaser and an interior degreaser on the mats, and then I started agitating. And then we're going to go ahead and pressure wash all that chemical out of there, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Bissell Pro for extraction to get all that dirt and water out of the mats. Alright, so this is my Bissell Pro Heat. The only thing I don't like about this thing is it only has a 1 gallon tank, so I literally have to empty it out every mat, which is annoying and time consuming. I really do need to invest in like a more professional grade one, like the Manatee, that has a gallon tank and uses heat. That would be a little bit more effective in getting a lot more stains out and holding a lot more water to save a little bit more time. But let's go ahead and speed this up. Alright, as you can see me finishing up my floor mats, I'm going to set up my steamer, fill it up with a little bit more water, and wait for it to heat up. And as I'm waiting, I might as well go ahead and touch up the rims, make sure there's no dirt or any water spots. And then I'm going to go ahead and dress the tires and let them sit there and absorb the oils and chemicals. Alright, my steamer is all heated up and we are ready to start on the inside. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what we're doing on the inside of this car. So what we're going to go ahead and do first is spray the door panels with the interior degreaser and combine it with the steam. Get a nice good deep clean, and then we're going to do that for the rest of the car as well, the rest of the door panels. And then we're just going to steam the cockpit, steam the dash, the steering wheel, armrest, everything. And then we're going to go back through with a leather protectant and a little bit of a shine and apply that to all the leather in the car, and that will pretty much wrap up this full detail. At the end, he did want an ozone treatment, so I just set it up at the end and let it sit while I clean up the rest of the stuff and put everything back in my car. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you want, you can skip or you can finish watching. I'm gonna put the rest of the video in times 20 just to speed it up to not bore you guys. The only thing left is just the interior and a final wipe of the outside. And sadly, no, I did not get an after video of the car, of the finished product. My GoPro had died.